Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a building that's so much more than just a building. We're talking about the Michigan Union, the absolute historic heart of the University of Michigan, and a place that's really reflected the university's own journey for over 100 years.
Look, if you've ever been to Michigan's campus, you know the Union. You literally can't miss it. It's this buzzing, central spot for all of student life. It's where you meet up, grab a bite, or just kind of soak in that whole Go Blue vibe. So how did it become such an iconic part of campus?
Before we jump in the time machine, let's start with the Michigan Union as it is right now. It's a place that's really designed to serve today's students in pretty much every way you can imagine.
Yeah, a quick peek inside and you can see just how important it is. You've got your study spaces, tons of places to eat, shops, banks. It's also a major hub for student services, and it even has this cool space called the Idea Hub for student groups. It really is a one-stop shop. But, it wasn't always like this.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting. The Union's origin story is pretty fascinating and way more complex than you might think. It was built on this big idea of being all-inclusive, but, well, there was a pretty big catch.
So, get this. Before it was even a building, the Michigan Union was an organization that started way back in 1904, and its whole goal was to create this sense of unity for students. But here's the catch. All-inclusive back then meant all-male students, and the idea was a huge hit. Their very first meeting had over 1,100 people show up.
And man, things move fast. This timeline just shows how quickly the whole thing became a reality. After buying their first house in 1907, they outgrew it almost immediately. So construction started on the massive building we know today, designed by the architects and brothers Irving and Allen Pond. By 1919, it was officially open for business.
So, let's talk about the building itself. When it first opened, it wasn't just some big hall. No, it was designed to be this amazing clubhouse for the men at the university, a real home away from home.
Now, this is the part that blows my mind. The amenities they had back then were incredible. I'm talking a bowling alley down in the basement, a barber shop, a cafe, a room for billiards and games, comfy lounges. They even had rooms for alumni to stay in, like a hotel. A few years later, they even added a swimming pool. It had literally everything.
And here's a really cool detail. If you go to the main entrance, you'll see these two statues that perfectly capture the university's whole mission. You've got the scholar, who's looking out towards the academic part of campus, and then you have the athlete, facing the athletic fields. It's this perfect balance of mind and body, carved right there in stone.
But the Union became so much more than just a student center. It actually turned into a stage where some of the biggest moments in the university's and even the nation's history played out.
And this slide right here really shows the most massive change. For decades, women were only allowed inside if they were with a male escort, and they had to use a separate side door. It's just a wild reflection of the times. That policy was officially ended in 1968, which finally made the Union the totally inclusive space it's meant to be. And speaking of history, you won't believe this. At 2 o'clock in the morning on October 14th, 1960, the presidential candidate John F. Kennedy gave this totally unplanned speech right on the steps of the Union. He threw out this challenge to the students, asking the very questions you see here. And that moment, that was the very beginning of what would become the Peace Corps. It's incredible.
All right, so with all that rich and, complicated history, let's come back to the present day and see what the Union is all about now.
Its mission to support students is absolutely stronger than ever. It's home to super important services, like CAPS for mental health support, the Spectrum Center for the LGBTQ+ community, and even the office where you get your M-Card. It's really the functional, supportive heart of campus life.
And of course, it's still a major place to go eat, but the options have definitely grown since that one little cafe back in 1919. Today, it's basically the university's food court. You've got Panera, Qdoba, and even the local favorite Sweetwater's Coffee and Tea. And to round it all out, it's a hub for shopping and banking, too. You can grab your textbooks at Barnes & Noble, get your laptop fixed at the tech shop, pick up tickets for a show, and hit the ATM, all in one place. So, when you think about it, from this exclusive men's club to a stage for a future president to the inclusive, bustling heart of campus that it is today, the Michigan Union has always been a mirror of its time. And that just leaves us with this one really cool question. What kind of story is it going to tell in the next 100 years?